you are a community club. DCFC is a community-built club. And it will always
team is pitching a plan to revitalize a historic gem in our community, and it's a project that's driven by their passion for their sport.
State of disrepair right now. Concrete sort of crumbling a little bit. The bleachers.
Football club. We're at Keywood Stadium. This stadium was built in 1936. Simply put,
it's amazing to see just how far they have come. Years ago, they were playing over at Gas Tech, and now so many people.
The post and Stephon St. Louis is there to clear it.
Yeah, in the background, you know, they give us the 12th man. You know, it's awesome.
Fans to watch. We're happy to put on a show for all these guys that came out to see us play.
When we move, they move, and just communication is the biggest part.
It was great. I think we could have earned a shutout earlier against Sparta in the year.
Awesome. You know, the atmosphere is amazing.
Monday with the right foot. It's in the back of the net.
People know us now. People know what to expect. Now we gotta take it to another level.
Look, city till I die. Say hi to the bad fella. Hella smooth with the flow, so grab your umbrella. Yeah, we make it rain. Bring the pain. Things are changing. Power rankings take a spanking. Got them rearranging. They said Denise are all stars till we deboed all y'all. Ball of fist and brawl y'all. Yeah, we pissed off all y'all. And we thin, but still winning. Grinning at the top. Got up under head spinning. Make that chin pop. Blue collar clocking in. They been mocking us for days till they step into the key and they been leaving with a fade. Doubting us, but then they swayed. Say we pout, they throwing shade. You will never have what we have, time to get the blade. Cause we'll be cutting them up. Yeah, we're shutting them up. We ain't bluffing, tell you something, better knuckle up. Y'all ain't nothing but chumps, we put in overtime. We'll be putting in work until it's closing time. City till I die. Talking blood, sweat, and tears. City till I die. We've been building this for years. City till I die.
I was loving it. Jaime, I don't know if you brought it up, but I'm at the indoor match on Saturday, which, so go figure that the day that had much more snow over the course of multiple instances had much better driving conditions than exactly the game, because I missed the last two MASLWs, like the Indiana matches, because the first day I was working, did a whole day shift at Detroit Boat Show. I get out at 7:15. I'm like, old me, yeah, I'm gonna fucking go, but you know, I'm growing adulting, and I was like, where are you at? I'm like, I'm going home. You suck. Yeah. That was the first game, and then you know, have to check out the stream qualities, which if you haven't checked out the MASLW matches via stream, been great. Multiple camera angles.
Saying that was good, yeah.
Yeah, because I wasn't able to make it out, so this is the first time I really got to see a full match on the stream, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and then the second Indiana match, I walk out at like an hour and a half before, just like, oh, what's the weather like? And like nothing, fresh snow, nothing plowed. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. The highway delayed by 20 minutes. I'm like, nah, I'm staying in for this bitch. But I'm at the game. In a kind of our one spot where like you usually watch at, Alan, like kind of like I think the Chirlinos are there usually, and like they're in the beer tower and everything. And Walter comes up to us.
Shout out to Walter.
To me. Shout out to Walter. And he's like,
second time.
Hey, he's like, what are you guys gonna come on here? And I'm like, who are talking about this? I was like, I'm like, well, yeah, we'll get on there. By the way, you do know we've been talking about signs that make city make expense. He goes, oh, where's that at? So he didn't know about the Majors TV YouTube. So Walter, thanks for knowing about the Majors TV YouTube.
Well, not every podcast has got the reach that we do.
Hey, did you talk about that? Did you talk about that John Morrissey article?
We've talked about nothing yet. We've talked about nothing yet. So
okay.
Yeah, we talked about Brew Detroit. We talked about the weather.
You mean Brew Marshall?
Brew Marshall.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. I thought I had made that up because I couldn't find the reference where I saw that, so it's good to know that I wasn't just fabricating that fact.
First we lose Strohs in the 80s, and you know, then we lose Strohs after that attempt of a commercial from a couple of seasons ago, hence why I'm still boycotting Strohs, amongst other reasons. One, they don't, it's on there, and now Brew Detroit's in Marshall, so huzzah.
But on the other hand, since this company that picked up Brew Detroit also picked up Old Nation, I wonder if we'll be able to get M43s at the game
And Old
this summer.
Old Nation is the actual new in the offseason announced as the new craft beer partner for Detroit City FC. That was announced as replacing Brew Detroit in the winter. That was one of those like November, December sneaky ones. So like when you go down the website,
I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get all of them.
Yeah.
They're all going to be this one company. So.
Yeah, but my opinion is you can't call Brew Detroit if it's in Marshall. So you got to come up with like Brew Michigan, like something like like I mean it's in line with Pure Michigan.
We're sticklers for that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely on there. So what we got? We got Adam popping in soon.
Possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What do you want us?
Let's start. Let's start.
You're running it.
There's so much news to talk about.
It's been
because we haven't had a podcast in 8 weeks.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody. This is our first episode of 2025. Does anyone know what season we're on? Our founding father Red had a very
been like 20 years, I think. 25.
he had a weird way of.
We're supposed to do a special on NBC soon, I think.
Like there was
we changed it. Then we changed it to episodes, and then we went to channel format, and
but there was
all gotten lost in the weeds.
There was one calendar year where there was like 3 seasons, but then there was also one season that lasted like 2 years. So I think maybe we're on season 8.
We're part of the also with the being in the Majors family, and like then there's mulletings and recaps and there's so much that it's all
everything. There's something for everybody on the Majors.
We're lost in it's still lost.
As long as you're interested in what we have to say, because we're really the ones that are doing it. So
if you're interested in the rantings and ravings of complete lunatics, but
for the sickos of Detroit City FC.
That's right.
The sickos of Detroit City and my mom. So thanks for listening, Mom.
Shout out Madre Ventura.
I'm his mom.
Madre Ventura. That's awesome.
There's a lot to cover, but we're not going to cover it all.
No.
It would be a 7-hour episode, and nobody wants that.
No.
Let's get stuck into the women's team. How many games do they have left? They just have a handful of games left, right? The indoor
games. So they got the 2 Iowa games, and then they have the Iowa game that's in Detroit. Those are the next 3.
3 against Iowa, right?
Yeah, and then a couple more.
Indiana United away on the 15th. That's the last one. And before that, Kalamazoo United on March 8th.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. And then playoffs are in Iowa, unfortunately.
Basically, if you've not been following along, the women's indoor team has been destroying everybody.
Yeah.
They are way better than everybody.
50 scored, 15 allowed in 5 games.
And we're not even playing Waza this year. So what I think I'd like to do, I've got 2 questions, all right? So let's each give like our standout player from the MASL season so far. And then I want you to give your hottest, spiciest take on the MASL team. It can be about anything, but I have a good one personally.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna don't want to foreshadow too much, but all right, Alan, who's been your standout player, and then what is your spiciest take on this women's indoor team?
Well, I mean, I have to go with Kayla because it just seems like that she has this affinity for the indoor game that is so remarkable. It just has a feel for it, and it's always exciting when she's playing. And I mean, that's not to slight anybody else that's on the squad because obviously they're doing very well. Uh, and but it's like when she's attacking the ball, it's just pure entertainment. So I would have to go with her just like right off the top of my head. Other players have been making big contributions as well, but that's number one. Spiciest take. Uh, it's so hard to say what this league looks like because it's never existed before. So I don't know if what we're seeing in our little piece of the universe is typical.
Are you saying you haven't been catching the streams of all these other divisions?
Oh
Alan?
yeah, it would require doing research, and I don't do that kind of thing. Uh, so I'll say my spicy take is national semis, whatever those are, and whenever those are.
So you're saying we're reaching the semis?
Yes.
Is that an Allen guarantee?
Yes, I will make that happen.
Okay.
Somehow.
Book it.
I'm willing to do my part to make that happen.
Okay. Garrett?
I think obviously Kayla's crushed it in a role. Like, the usuals that we've come to expect have crushed it. Kayla Addison, Hannah Crum, Gabby in goal. Fatima Nasser's played a bit deeper and has had a significant, great impact. A banner of a goal against Indiana from long distance. I'm going to go Tatiana Mason, though, because she's been involved in heavy in goals, heavy in free kick output. Somebody that has, especially since coming back, her city stint starting with indoor last year, really has been like a focal point in this in general. The winning goal, if I'm not mistaken, she had the winning goal to clinch W League at Midwest, the division winner.
Sounds right. She scored like 4 or 5 over the summer league. So,
and then what was unavailable in the playoffs because she was trying out with I think DC in the Super League, and then featured in Vietnam for Ho Chi Minh City. So I think she's had a great run of football lately, and I think she's been one that there. And I think honorables underneath that have been Claire Trevina and Maya Romeo. Maya Romeo, especially this last match, woman of the match. And I think, my spicy take is this division's too easy for us because when you look at
I don't know if that's spicy, Garrett.
Here's why. Our competition, and it's perfect that Adam's actually coming on here because this is something that we talked about in one of our combos. When you look at what we had last year in our division, Cincinnati, Louisville, Columbus, who we did not play. They're all in another division facing each other with like Youngstown or whatever the fuck it is. So are we at or above that division's level come playoffs in Iowa? Or is this like we dominate everybody, we go 10-0, we average 10 a game, we allow 3, and then we get humbled in the playoffs, unfortunately.
Is this the Detroit Lions?
Yeah,
again.
Yeah. I said something. I kind of made this thing because Dennis asked a question in our Christmas special, and I'm gonna stick to it. We completely running the table. MASLW inaugural champions. Detroit City FC. Truck.
Guaranteed?
Guaranteed.
Wow. Alan, he just went up.
Pressure's off of me now. I don't have to worry about it.
All right, that is spicy. That is for sure spicy.
That's like double spicy.
Yeah. What's that show on YouTube where the guys eat the hot wings?
Hot ones.
Hot ones. This is a hot ones take. All right, Adam, welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up?
We're talking. We're talking women's indoor league. Do you want to jump in? And we've been asking, who's been your standout player so far in the women's league, and then your spiciest take on the women's indoor team.
I mean, I mean, it has to be the keepers again, right? Gabby. I mean,
we're subbing keepers in games back and forth. This is how fucking easy it is.
I know, and that's that's something I mentioned to you the other day, Garrett. I was like, did they not start Gabby today? And you because I didn't go to the last game.
Yeah, they
and you said that and you said that they rotated in and out, which that's fine, but they're once again beating teams because the last game was what 8-1. The game before that was
10-1.
Yeah, 10-1, and it's what they're able to do as far as going in there and limit the goals, limit what the other team has been able to put up on the scoreboard. It's really remarkable. Just the sheer domination that they have when it comes to just completely shutting these other teams down. And I guess my hot take, and again, I mentioned this to you the other day, Garrett, and I know we all love winning. I know we all love scoring goals. Especially considering some of the years we've gone through with the men's side where they don't score any goals. But is this in a way becoming a little boring for you guys? Like
That's
the indoor
anti-spicy.
Maybe so. Maybe this is the
I need to confess because I did talk to Adam about this. Jaime knows this too because he was also at the bar when I was, because that was when Walter saw him. I went up to watch the third period of the match on the stream because I also wanted to watch U.S. Canada hockey because that was on a TV.
That kind of. I mean,
because it was over. The match was over.
Exactly. Like this. I mean, this is kind of my point. Like, and it's not City's fault by any means. Like, I'm not coming out here and saying that
stop being so good.
Yeah, stop being so good. Start losing some games.
It's almost like the 1 year of Nisa, where like the men's team just won, and like the guy, the owner of the pizza who gave the pizzas away,
Lawrence Gerard,
winning goal for New Amsterdam. Like, I mean, it was just like that year. It felt like the level of competition was not good, and we just won every game. And it was, after a while, it got kind of like, is anyone going to give us any
and the thing that sucks about this too, from the competitive standpoint, because like I said, I don't want to make it seem like I'm bitching about winning, but when the competitive games do come around, they're going to be in fucking Iowa, right? Like the playoffs are going to be in Iowa, so we're not going to be able to see that. We're not going to be able to see that aspect of this whole season. But I guess for me, it's not really a hot take. I hope next year's season is more competitive, because if we get another season of this, then whatever. It's just one of those things where
it's still a good night out. It's still a fun time and all that.
Yeah.
But there is no drama in this season whatsoever. Like, it's just
no, there isn't.
Unfortunately, I think it's a product of the structure that
if
you're going to have really small divisions to try to keep things geographically clustered. I mean, Iowa's not really close, but
no.
I don't know the decisions behind any of that stuff. You're just going to have a smaller pool. In one of the iterations of this going into this new league, we had thought that we were going to be in more of a conference situation where it was going to be a little bit bigger.
Like Columbus,
teams
Cincy,
we would
Louisville.
play. Yeah. I mean, just a larger capture. And I was kind of looking forward to that for the reasons that Adam said. It's just like, if you're playing the same three teams multiple times and they're not as good as our team is, then it kind of taken a little bit of the bite out of things. I mean, I guess a good research project for for whoever wants to do it would be to look at some of the other divisions and see, who is the dominant teams in those areas, and then try to figure out what we might be facing, whether it's the regionals or even beyond that. So
Alan's handing out homework assignments
I'm
tonight.
gonna assign that to Rod.
I'm getting ahead of that one because I don't
Dude,
want to
Rod's
do it.
retired, man.
Isn't this for something good for someone else to do other than me?
Alan, remember though a couple weeks ago though when we faced it was the first game of that Indy double that we had.
Yeah.
We're sitting there, we're talking, we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna destroy this Indy team based on the way, basing
right?
the book by its cover. It looked like these these players were they looked very, very young. It looked like they were, maybe freshmen in high school. And Indy ended up scoring the first goal. And we're like, oh no. But when it all came down to it,
they knew how to move the ball around. Let's put it that way.
They knew how to move the ball around, but still, I think that game finished, what was it, 12-4?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
even last week's game.
On Saturday, it was 0-0.
That started much
quarter.
more competitive.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, maybe this is going to be a game. And then all of a sudden, we just scored the first one, and then it was
like we started scoring, and there was just no response. So
I looked at. I think Jam was by me on Saturday for the first quarter, and I just looked at him like Danny's about to rip this squad to bits after that first quarter, and they scored 4 in the second, and it was like I think it was in that first Indiana game it was 2-2, and then it got to 9-2 at one point, and it's like when this team wants to turn it on, they can fucking turn it on.
Yeah, they can turn it on like a switch.
Yeah, I mean we just have a team that's got that experience and those kind of mental resources to like say, okay, well we got to bring it up another gear or two. And I don't know that the other teams can do the same thing.
We have a deep squad, like they rotate a lot of players in and out, and the level doesn't really drop off. No matter who's out there, they have a pretty well balanced team. So yeah.
I mean, from a competitive standpoint too. I mean, this is the one thing that's concerning. I mean, having such a lopsided division is when you do go to the playoffs, you are going to be playing better teams.
Yeah.
And right. I mean, that's something that's a little worrisome, though, is once they go and they do play those better teams, what's their response going to be like? Because right now, I mean, you could tell that when they're going out there, they just know that they're the better team, and they can flip that switch whenever they want. And when they do flip that switch, they're going to go and score, 4 goals within like 3 minutes, and the game's going to be over. That's something that they're not going to be able to do when it comes to playing some of these better teams. But again, I mean, that's putting the cart before the horse. I mean, but it's something that, that you think about with this season and the way that they're dominating this division. And you just sit there and you wonder how they're going to manage it when they are playing better teams in the postseason.
So I got MASLW standings up real quick.
I just looked at the same thing.
So Great Lakes North, it's fucking over. Kalamazoo United are 2-3. Iowa Demon Hawks, because I have to continue the Make City Make Spence like low heavy metal thing in fucking Iowa. 1-1, 2 matches played. Indiana's 0-4. Great Lakes South. So this is the teams that a lot of teams we've known last year. Columbus Eagles, who we didn't play in the regular season. I don't know if we even played them in the playoffs last year. Alan, you made the trip down last year, right?
No, I was going to.
No, he was supposed to make the trip, but he ended up not going.
Columbus
Adam is still mad about it too.
Yeah, I'm
Columbus is 5-2. They've played 7 games with Susserfuss Ballverein is 4-2.
That's not a real name.
I don't know where the fuck they're from. Cincinnati Sirens have apparently only played 4, or the website's delayed. Louisville Triumph are 3-4. 3 wins, 4 losses. And that was a team that was like one of the studs in the regular season in our division last year. They beat us at the Fieldhouse, but we beat them in the playoffs. And then Youngstown Nighthawks, who I think were the ones that eliminated us from that tournament last year, they're 0-6. And then you get into the Heartland, Wichita Lady Luck, 6 wins and an overtime loss. In the South, Chihuahua Savage, 9 wins and a loss, 150 goals scored in 10 games.
Oh, Lordy.
That's not real. These are not real statistics.
But like, I mean, when you look at the top division leaders in there, we're pretty comparable to like the top teams in there. So maybe it's not as there. Real quick, and then I don't know, Jaime, do you want to talk W League next with the schedule review?
I was just gonna mention that it dropped. I wasn't gonna do a deep dive on the schedule because it's just right. I mean,
yeah,
but yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah. What's more impressive to you about these first 5 games? That we're averaging 10 goals a game, or that we're only allowing 3 a game, and 1 in each of the last 2?
I think like Adam was alluding to, like the defensive record is pretty. I mean, because this is a game that's set up to like encourage scoring. Like, I mean,
yeah,
you know,
endless substitutions.
Yeah. Like a game that finishes 10-6 is not uncommon, right? You know, you expect there to be lots of goals, and the fact that we were able to kind of keep it locked down is pretty remarkable. So,
what do you think, Alan?
Goals, Jesus Christ! They have a plus 116 goal differential. Okay.
Oh, you're talking
this
about
is going to keep me up all night tonight.
You're talking about Chihuahua? Yeah, you're still talking about Chihuahua. You're still talking about Chihuahua.
Okay. All right, enough of that. Sorry. Go on.
What do you think? What's more impressive for you? City's goals for or City's goals against?
Yeah, I'll echo the same sentiment. It's a game built for scoring, and you know, to have a team only put in 1 or 2 goals or less than 5, I mean, really is that shows you've got this thing locked down pretty tight, you know. And Gabby has been brilliant like usual in goal, tremendous saves, but it's more than that, because you know, just the you have to switch gears so fast between attack and defense, and you got people making those runs and getting in the way of the ball. So, I would say that part of it is harder. Not that I know anything about it, but it seems harder to me just watching it.
Adam, you're going to say defense, or are you thinking?
I want to talk about Chihuahua again. I wonder if they're going to be like that one team in USLW last year that had like the Jamaican national players on it. They were from Florida, and they like flamed out like in the first round. Like nobody.
Oh yeah, Asheville beat them, I think.
Yeah. Anyways,
the Chihuahua Savage. Unreal.
Are they really called the Chihuahua Savage?
Yeah. That's what's listed on the MSLW website. They're in this.
It's like a badass name. I wish we were called the Chihuahua Savage.
You put that in the suggestion box, Adam.
Yeah. That's what we need. No, you know what? That's what we need. The clubhouse needs a suggestion box.
I've been saying that for years.
So, do we want to give them? Do we want that?
It needs to be like
they don't want that for sure.
Red's gonna come out of retirement to bitch us all out and be like, "Yo, this is why no one's going to the clubhouse anymore."
It needs to be right outside Trevor's office too.
God.
All right, so USLW schedule dropped today. Opening the season in my hometown.
We're all meeting at Jaime's house.
Yep. After party at my house. May 17th against AFC Ann Arbor. Home opener is the following week. Is that one of the doubleheaders, Garrett?
Yeah, that's the first of 2 doubleheaders.
May 24th.
Yep. Men play Charleston at 4 to start that afternoon, and then Nationals. Union FC
Macomb. That's a Freudian slip, Garrett.
Is that going to be Lily's new team?
No, because it seems like U.S. Youth National Team call-up Lily Jekyll Congratulations, Lily. Tweeted #the Nationals way plus #DCTID equals. So
Ooh.
Ooh.
Reading the tea leaves.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
we got 4 Nationals players
that
from
would
last
be
year that have to make up
incredible
their
if she chose City over the front team set up by the Nationals.
I wonder if this
Oh
is
my
going to be like.
goodness.
I wonder if this is going to be
Ooh.
like college recruitment videos, like where they would sit there with the hats, and they would sit there. They like put on the hat that they would go
So
and sit
we need
there.
an ESPN special.
We
Yeah.
know players
The
listen to our
choice.
we know players listen to all of our stuff, so we're giving them ideas here. So there's the
It'll
national
be fantastic.
there's
We'll have an audience.
Hey,
Friendly the
maybe
Bear will be there.
Channel 451 could broadcast it live.
That's right.
NIL
And now the moment has come. The choice is going to be made.
NIL
Have
hits
silence
the
in the
W
room,
League.
please.
NIL hits the W League. We have because there's 4 Nationals: Lily Jekyll, Ella Kane, Aubrey Ciampa, Ava Landstrom.
There it is.
That have to choose: are they going to be Nationals or are they going to be Detroit City? Because those are they have the right to choose, from what we've heard.
Continue, Jaime.
Not much else really. Toledo Villa FC, a team we remember from the old NPSL days. Their women's team is joining our conference this year. Otherwise, familiar faces: Midwest, Kalamazoo, and Ann Arbor. So, RIP Flint City, whatever they were called, AFC.
AFC. Yeah, AFC.
Flint City.
Flint City, AFC.
Yeah.
Michiana also.
Oh yes.
I will say this though.
I'm sure they really existed in the first place. But...
Flint City was the final. They were Corktown.
Oh,
so
right. Yeah.
So Corktown is officially no more.
Detroit Sun, Corktown, Flint City, now extinct.
Now Detroit City has
they're going to come back as the Chihuahua Savage in a couple of years.
You know,
Detroit City has planted the flag in Corktown finally.
Do we we talk about? I just had an idea because you were talking about. We've talked about Danny Evans being like, as far as coaching and mindset, small yet mighty, especially with mindset and attacking. Is her new nickname Chihuahua Savage?
I'm not going to suggest it to her.
No, you go ask her, Garrett. You go ask her if that's.
I'm sure she'll tell you what she thinks about it.
Yeah, but I get kicked in the nuts the next time I say something on
exactly.
that. So 10 games in the regular season for us as opposed to 12, because we've usually had 7. There's a new division in the Central because of there's a lot of expansion teams in W League. 25 new teams this year, total 93. So with 4 divisions in the Central Conference, it was on the W League website that the playoff format is going to be announced closer to the season. Last year was 3 division winners and the best second place team. Now that there's 4 divisions, there might be some changes coming into that. But
I'm assuming it'll be all 4 division winners.
Yeah, and
that's it.
Yeah, I would think. Or do they do anything for a 1 or 2 second place teams, and you do best division winners get a bye? Who knows? But I would think if this year is like last year, I expect us to be hosting come beginning of July.
Is Aurora still in it?
I think they are in. Let me look at.
Yeah, the Heartland division.
Yeah, because there's the Great Lakes Forest division now, which is Cleveland Forest moved over to there. So, which I think it's funny. Or is it not Great Lakes? It's Great Forest. So there's Great Lakes and then there's Great Forest. You have your inland. You have
Who came up with these names? Jeez.
Exactly. You'll say the exact same thing. Who thinks of that stuff?
USL, no, USL.
Used every name possible.
Let me look here.
I got to assume Aurora is gonna host this year.
I mean, they came this close to going pro.
I heard that it's going to come down to an arm wrestling match between Mackie and whoever their director of sports information is. So,
great.
I don't like that. Those odds.
Alan, come on, you got to have faith.
The Great Forest division is like prime Rust Belt rivalries. So Cleveland Forest SC is the only existing team from previous years. The rest of them are all expansion teams. So you have Erie Sports Center. You have FC Buffalo with their first season of a W League side. Flower City 1872, which was a NISA side that started after our exit from NISA.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Riveters SC, which is the lady equivalent from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds group. And Steel City FC out of Bethlehem. Aurora, same in the Heartland as you. Aurora, Chicago City Dutch Lions, RKC Third Coast, Riverlight. Riverlight was who we beat in the playoffs in the first game last year. Rochester FC and the new side Sioux Falls City, and then the Valley Division, Dayton Dutch Lions. That's an old NPSL team from I feel like
they've been around. Yeah, they were like a PDL.
Or were they Cincinnati Dutch Lions first, and then they became Dayton?
They tried to do like a whole.
There's a few different branches, I think, but yeah.
Anyway. And then Lexington SC, they have a secondary team in the W League, and then Kings Hammer, Indy, and Racing Louisville. So, 4-game homestand, May 24th, June 21st, doubleheader days.
Cool.
And Detroit City FC dominance.
Long may it continue.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's pivot to the men's team. First team. Preseason, well underway. I am curious, Adam. You said something when we were talking about the MASL team and not playing against particularly strong competition, and could that come back to bite them once we get into the playoffs? The men's team, curiously, for their preseason preparation, has mainly been playing community colleges and beer league teams.
They did play They did play a Barcelona side. Granted, they were
U18s. Come on.
U18s.
No, I don't know. Does anyone have thoughts on this? Because I personally think this is terrible preparation. It could work out just fine, and they'll hit the ground running. But to me, this is bizarre. I've never seen anything like this, where you only play cupcakes in the preseason.
No, I kind of agree with you, Jaime, because when they did play, a legitimate side in Lexington, they lost, 1-0.
Right.
I try not to put too much into the preseason, but yeah, I mean, this Desert Showcase, whatever it is, has been kind of, it's lackluster. Yeah, I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing against these, these community colleges.
Yeah, 100%.
They're going out there and, basically putting up MASLW, score lines to them. But yeah, I mean, what are things going to look like when, when they go and play actual, sides in USL Championship? I mean, this is like, I don't know, like Premier League teams coming over here and playing USL Division 2 or USL League 2 teams. So yeah,
I feel like it's pretty normal to start with a couple of those kind of opponents as you're doing the heavy physical conditioning work and trying to get new players incorporated into the squad. But then it seems like normally you ramp it up, and you're playing increasingly more challenging competition as you get closer to the start of the season. But
I mean, a couple years ago, we were playing Michigan State and Oakland U. It's just little kind of throw-in games at the end of preseason.
Yeah.
Boston as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't stacking these games on top of each other. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the Desert Showcase thing that they're doing right now, and unfortunately, this was the makeup of teams that came into it. But I agree, Jaime. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best run of competition, and yeah, you wonder if things are going to be a little bit flat when they actually start the regular season in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you have two options really for preseason. You either find a sparring partner, or you are the sparring partner for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And you would want to see a mix. I mean, yeah, I don't think we want to play like, see Cincinnati, in the preseason game necessarily, because, any of these teams would, it'd be rough. But yeah, I don't know, and given that they've gone to Florida and to the Southwest, where other teams are doing the same thing, that there should have been a variety of options for teams to play. And
well, wasn't like New Mexico United at this Desert Showcase like last year?
There was a bunch of teams.
Yeah.
I mean, normally that's where
Grand
everybody
Canyon
goes.
we played 2 in the desert last couple of years, like New Mexico United and Grand Canyon University. So it was like,
so I don't know. I mean, I understand kind of if you're playing lower level opponents, it's really to build up your squad. You want to have people get a touch of getting the net and and running up a score line, and that's great. Maybe there's some other stuff. Don't we usually play Indy in a closed door before the season starts?
That's been typical.
So there may be a few things yet to come. So I don't know if this is like the whole story.
There is going to be something being announced for Sunday.
Breaking news.
It will be at Legacy.
Oh,
Legacy.
Just announce it, Garrett.
Garrett just dropped it.
Garrett, just announce it.
TFC 2.
Oh yeah. I think that had been floating around, that rumor.
Who you cheering for, Alan?
I thought we had an exclusive.
Who you cheering for, Alan?
Sunday night. Sunday night.
I have a closet full of TFC stuff if everyone wants to wear anything.
Oh, we should all go wearing Toronto stuff.
Will Danny Dicchio secretly undermine us to give his former employer?
No, well, he's got grievances against them, so
yeah, that's true.
So he probably wants to kick their asses like all the way.
But yeah,
I'm just saying, I don't know.
But being that we're almost 2 weeks till the start of this USL Championship season,
that's a lesser opponent, to be honest. A next pro team.
We'll probably
it's not like we're playing a championship game.
We'll probably play Oakland, which will probably be our final tune-up before the season starts in the Dome, because it's always Oakland in the Dome. That would be my guess if I were to think anything, whether it's next weekend or the beginning of the week beforehand. I don't know, but it's come up. The season's come up quick, and I think also too, if like the chance to play like the MLS teams and everything like that, you have CONCACAF Champions Cup starting today and tomorrow. You got MLS League matches starting this weekend, so I think that bubble's missed. Maybe you get a chance to play another USL team, but a lot of them are starting to do scrimmages against each other, etc. So.
I'm surprised we're not playing.
Well, my over 40 men's team is available if they need one more cupcake before the league season kicks off. So.
Oh shit.
All right, let's just. I don't want to go through this like every single one, but we do have a lot of new players signed. I'm just gonna run down the list really quickly, and then I want everyone to maybe just say the new player that they're most excited about. I was gonna have you give the most excited player and also the player that you were least excited about, but then I thought, you know what? It's a new year. I've got a new positive outlook on life and the world. I'm trying to push the negativity away and only go towards the light. So we're only gonna keep it.
Good luck with that.
Don't go towards the light, Jaime. Stay away from the light.
We knew him so well.
You still have so much to live for, Jaime. Don't go towards the light.
Jaime, Real Madrid, Manchester City League 2 is tomorrow. Don't go to the light too soon.
Yeah.
Fair. So these are just the announced signings. Some people have kind of we all know that there's been an unnamed player listed in all these, and someone in the social media realm has gone out and said who that is, and I think it's very irresponsible journalism. So we will not be mentioning that player's name, even though we do happen to know who that is. So Jay Chapman, midfielder, most recently with Charleston on loan. We have Darren Smith, a forward who's come to us from the Finnish Premier League. Haruki Yamazaki. He is listed variously as a defender, a midfielder, and a forward. He played in League One last year with North Colorado Hailstorm. We have another Carlos Herrera, formerly of Monterey Bay, goalkeeper. We have Maury Donor, previously with Monterey Bay, also widely regarded as the 18th best right wing back in North America. We have Marcelo Polisi, coming from Valor FC. He's a midfielder. We have Shane. I don't know how German this guy is.
Wheat.
No, Veit. He.
I'm just listening to what he referred to it as.
I'm just joking. I actually know. I know zero German.
It's okay. One day he'll figure out how to pronounce his own name.
He's been with Sacramento the last couple of years. He's a center back. And I think Guenzati's in there now too. He's not been formally announced, but they're listing him, and he's got a number. He's not a trialist or anything. So
right.
He's an attacker, formerly of Indy 11. Obviously, before that, Tampa Bay Rowdies, where he did a lot of goal scoring. Garrett, who's your pick? Who's your pick? Who's the one that you're most excited about?
Of the named ones, correct?
Of the named ones only.
Yeah. Of the named ones right now, it's a neck and neck.
Ooh. Between
Darren Smith and Haruki Yamazaki. Because I think Haruki Yamazaki brings some versatility. Last year he featured as a fullback wingback for Northern Colorado Hailstorm. He's played some central mid, attacking mid in college. I could see him being one of the holding mids, especially if Elijah is not ready to go at the start of the season. For those that aren't sure, Elijah had a sports hernia at the end of the season last year. Had to get a procedure done in the off season, so he's working his way back into that. I would say between Haruki Yamazaki and Darren Smith, but I feel like Darren Smith has got the advantage, and that is because Darren Smith, as South African forward, as Jaime, you mentioned, he's played in Finland, he's played in Morocco, he's been experienced. Another thing about what works in his advantage in Finland is being in the top 10 in the goals in the top flight league, a really good cup run. Finland plays a similar season to U.S. soccer in terms of spring to fall, and also a lot of artificial fields. And as we know about Keyworth, it's artificial as they come.
It is? I didn't know that.
Yeah, the turf. Yeah. As far as the field goes. And I think that can give an advantage, conditions, in that he'll have an advantage of already having to play in an eye for goal. And also be a further spark to existing players, however Danny decides to line up. I think the Maury Donor move means where is Reese Williams going to fit in? It seems like he's taking reps on the left-hand side to you because Reese Williams is good with both feet, but I think there's a lot of interesting dilemmas, but I'd say Darren Smith just with the edge over Haruki Yamazaki.
Alan.
Yeah, I would have to go with Yamazaki. I think he's going to add tremendous pace, and that's going to be pretty exciting, I think. So he's kind of the one that I've initially really wanting to see of the named players. Guinzotti, that's kind of an interesting pickup. I mean, he's getting kind of old, as we all do.
31, I think.
33.
33? Man, I totally missed the last 2 years.
But I remember him from the Cosmos days, and he was always a pain in the ass. And now he's our pain in the ass. So hopefully that's still gonna apply. And
The old hockey player analogy.
yeah. And so that's intriguing. Yeah, it seems like we're pretty deep, and I know there's some guys that are missing from training now, or their status is unclear. We know about Job, but it seems like Rutsy has not been in the games as far as we can tell. So that's a little unclear what's going on with him. I mean,
You don't
obviously
show your
he
best
went down.
hand. You don't show your best hand in preseason against.
There you go. He's not He's not playing in the preseason game because he doesn't need to.
Right.
Hey, Adam, remember when a pro wrestler gets hurt and then they come back from injury and they're like jacked in the best shape of their life and they're absolutely ready to raise hell? What if that's what we're doing with Connor Rutz right now?
Oh, we're building a new machine.
Because he did get more
Bigger and
jacked at
better.
the end. He got jacked at the end of the offseason in the shoulders. He stopped eating just Marmite and butter noodles and was probably on a proper nutrition and was just like, the results paid off. So maybe we're
He was
in
on
the next
Sheldon's training videos like all winter, so
Yeah. There.
he's ready to go. Unless he's not, then in that case we won't see him.
I think Sheldon's Insta story was him playing pickleball with Ben and a couple other people in the desert. So
He can't be that injured, huh?
No. Well, I don't think Rutsy Connor was in that, but like Matt, Ben, and somebody else.
Adam, anyone catch your eye in this list of signings?
Darren Smith and Maury Donor. Darren Smith and Maury Donor.
Maury Donor is also intriguing for me in the fact that it is not a Monterey Bay let him go and we picked him up. Is we made a transfer from Monterey Bay to get Maury Donor, and it is not just. I feel like you're seeing Danny Dichio with the Toronto FC system, Jay Chapman coming through Toronto, but you're also seeing Nick Dasovich and the Vancouver Whitecaps in there, Maury Donor, Marcelo Polisi. I think you're starting to see some of that stock really like come in flavors.
I mean, I kind of like what we've assembled here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the reasons why you let go of a guy like Maxi Rodriguez. It's beating a dead horse at this point, bringing him up constantly. But if you brought back Maxi Rodriguez, you're probably not going out and getting the unnamed forward, Well, maybe you are, considering it's a loan.
Right.
But you're probably not going out and getting Darren Smith. You're probably not going out and getting Maury Donor. You're not enabling yourself to do these different things that you're doing when it comes to the midfield, when it comes to your forwards, when it comes, just because you know what Maxi's going to demand on the pitch and off. So again, this is the reason why we did not bring Maxi Rodriguez back, in my opinion. And I think we've assembled. I think this is going to be a better team. I know we're always seemingly optimistic when it comes to kind of evaluating the new team and everything, and in the weeks before the season starts. But I don't know. I'm optimistic by it. I think this is the best defense that we've had in USL Championship, considering we never really addressed the departure of Matt Lewis when that happened until this past offseason.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think our midfields are balanced. I think we have a legitimate, um, you know, second striker to Ben Morris, something that I don't know that we've ever had in USL Championship. Uh, so
There's
yeah,
another, and
I
there's
mean
another thing. I was
yeah,
going to
go
say
ahead.
there's one more thing also in the existing because Jessiel Cedeno joined the squad very late last year.
Hmm.
He's now the number 10. The only other player other than Cyrus Sadie to wear the number 10 was Ali Coote. So you're not giving that guy a squad number unless you're giving him a role. So I'm really curious to see if Jessiel Cedeno also becomes like a new signing, whether you put him in left foot to cut in on the inside, play in the 10, or be involved in, the attacking role. Because he's had a good preseason from what we've seen of him so far. Granted, lower opposition, but still. Is he the one that could really like surprise some people this year in a good way?
I hope so. I was I was pretty excited when he came over from Oakland last year, and things didn't kind of work out. I think the way that maybe people are anticipating, but he's still here. I mean, it didn't turn into one of those side Goddard situations where there's optimism when he comes over and he has a bad game and never really sees the light of day again. So I mean, like I said, I continue to be encouraged by Cedeno, and that in as far as what we anticipate he can do when it comes to generating offense, um, like he did in the past with Oakland.
Hey, Jaime, you talked about seeing the light now, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's have our discussion.
Uh-oh.
So 30 matchups, 30 games in the USL Championship this year as opposed to 34.
Okay.
Because there's the 4 League Cups.
All right.
We had discussion in the offseason originally when we were talking that it was a 34-game regular season. And that was our fun urinized back and forth of what will Ben Morris do in a season.
I don't like where this is going. I don't like where this is going.
As it currently stands, you owe me 2 meals, 2 Del Taco meals, and I owe you from Ben Morris bets. I owe you a dessert.
That's true, Dairy Queen. Yep.
Yeah, which we'll hopefully can do before the W League season opener in Ann Arbor on May 17th.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember which Del Taco that I looked up. I think there's one where there's like a Dairy Queen like 0.4 miles away. So that's also something.
Bingo. 30, if we do over the course of a 30-game regular season, because there's a couple layers, if we stick to just USL Championship, the goal every 2.5 games discussion we were having would be 12 for a 30-game season. Do you want to do the over-under bet?
And what is the number? 12 or 11.5?
Yeah, 12 is a goal every 12 goals is a goal every 2.5 games in a 30-game USL Championship season.
There's no way he scores 12.
I say he does.
There's no way.
So what? Yes. So are we doing? So are we doing? So are we going to do Del Taco? So are we going to do Del Taco for this, or are we
going to do
Del
Taco?
You gotta do something else.
I feel like we gotta do something else.
We gotta do something else for this. Okay.
You have to buy Del Taco for me.
Is Rapport
for
Brewing
everyone?
Still, is Rapport
Brewing
Brewing
is.
still
All
open
our
by
listeners.
Yes, Rapport Tap House. Yes.
But you guys, this isn't fun for us if you keep on doing food. We do like we gotta do some type of public shaming, I think.
Well, the third bet, Jaime did do a haiku for the 10 goals.
I did, yeah, that's true. I did do that. Some of my best work on this program.
Yeah. So, You know what? He actually also needs to continue. Oh yeah, there's the other one of the recent accomplishment by somebody else that we have said Jaime has critiqued sarcastically before. We'll talk about that in a second.
That might have to be for the next episode. I don't know
Adam,
what we're talking about.
Adam, what are you thinking if Ben Moore scores more than 12 goals in USL Championship regular season?
I don't know. Like if he scores more, obviously, and then Jaime loses the bet. I mean, I kind of want to. I mean, like I said, public shaming. I mean, not to the point where he's, Jaime's, it's going to get back to like employers or anything. That he's going to lose his job, anybody. But like, like I don't know. Like you could start off on something like Jaime has to wear a Barcelona jersey to a City game.
No, I'll wear I'll get a T-shirt made with Ben Morris's face on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bingo.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll wear that to Keyworth if he scores. If he scores more than 12 goals, I will make that happen.
And it says, and it has to say like "I love Ben Morris" on the back or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Now, if Garrett loses,
shit.
If Garrett loses, all right.
Do I? Okay. Do I? Do I lose one of my meals?
No.
No. Those are.
No, we're doing T-shirts now.
Yeah.
You have to wear a T-shirt that says.
You're gonna have a T-shirt that says Jaime knows ball.
Or how about one that says "Ask me how to join the Branch Davidians"?
What is that?
I don't have the. It's a David Koresh reference.
Oh, in like Waco, Texas, or whatever.
Yeah,
because
those guys.
Because the running joke with. Although, hold on, the new glasses frames. I don't think. I think that changes the look a little bit. I feel like
he was aviators all the way.
In post production, can we like get a picture of this guy up here, like do a side by side with Garrett?
Did you not see Adam's background during the 451 Christmas special?
I may have missed that one.
I'll put it in the chat afterwards.
I was very drunk on that episode, and also I was busy making my own backgrounds.
That's right.
That was
a lot of shenanigans going on.
That was a great fucking episode. We'll have to come up with something on there. Yeah,
we'll figure it out. Definitely T-shirts. For.
Sounds good.
Yeah, the loser.
One cool thing about the men's side is a bigger coaching staff this year, including Eliza Barron.
Full time now.
Full time, Eliza Barron, who's been one of the key constants in the addition of the women's side, from whether it's playing, being involved in the coaching, playing in the indoor W League, MASLW League. First team performance coach for the men. Joined on at the end of last year on there. Obviously, at the time, what was the tough thing was because she was also employed at Michigan State. It was navigating through those waters. Hired by Detroit City FC to be first team performance coach for the men. Huge accomplishment. Congratulations on it. Jaime will also have to wear a T-shirt that's number one of the Eliza Barron fan club for one of the future games for this.
Oh my goodness! I will not allow my name to be sullied in this manner.
Oh, lordy.
Bro, Eliza and I go way back to Bowling Green. I just may have intimated that perhaps her playing days should come to an end. That's all.
Oh.
I love how he's trying to
public podcast, man.
I love how he's trying to skirt the issue, but then also goes into the issue.
You brought it up. I'd be back into the darkness, Garrett.
Things have taken a turn here.
It's his turn. Yeah. It's not like
okay. We'll delete all of this.
No. Yeah, we'll take care of it in post production.
Adam, it's not like people. Adam, it's not like people check out our content. And wait.
We will not. Yeah, we will not be. We'll not be taking care of this in post-production.
All right. Any final thoughts? I think we're just about at time. It's been a lovely evening of banter and shenanigans.
I do want to bring up something real quick, and I think this is kind of a learn something today. I think it's interesting in the Detroit City FC community. Many of us gotten to know each other before we met each other in person, and that we knew each other through online, through social media. As Alan got the soccer wars, the Twitter, and connecting through, especially in days when it was a 10-month off season and 2-month playing days, and other than Detroit City FC, the four of us, and I know Dennis as well, huge Detroit Lions fans, and it was announced, and Detroit Lions also have various online personalities, people that when you think of Detroit Lions and you go on social media, you go on Twitter, you go on anything like that, a couple of people. And one of them was Andy, who, as you know, World of Isaac. And those that have known that he's gone through some, health issues. He's had cancer actually going back to 2006. Put it out there today that he's actually probably going to be done because he's going to be entering hospice. So I would like to just say thanks for all that he's done on there, and being up for all that, whether it's Lions takes, Detroit sports takes, honestly good, and anytime to just say fuck the Bears and make it anything on there. We'll see you all on these. Thanks for all that you've done on there. All the best to you and the family, and we'll see you on the other side.
Went to a couple City games too.
Yeah,
went to a couple City games, and I think you remember he was tweeting how impressed he was by the hot dog and sausage selection at Keyworth. So, but yeah, no, that was definitely sad to see. And but yeah, his stuff on Twitter when it wasn't such an awful platform that it is now, it was very entertaining, the stuff that he did post up there too. And I think he worked for was it Uproxx? Is that how you pronounce it? He worked for them. I think he's worked for a couple of online publications and websites and stuff like that before. But yeah, his stuff has always been very, very entertaining. And yeah, when I saw that today, it was incredibly sad to see. So even his food reviews were great too. The Saturday stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna try this I'm gonna try this so you don't have to. And he would, it was very, very entertaining stuff that he would do. But yeah, very sad to see.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Well,
all right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if there's anything else that can be said.
Well, there's a lot of other stuff, but maybe now is not the best time. I mean, we have lots of league news to talk about.
Yeah, we'll get to that at some point.
Seems to be some interesting developments in the Canadian Premier League. We might be getting a Windsor team at long last. So, lots of
and a USL D1 thing maybe in a few years' time. That
yeah. So there's all kinds of stuff. So stay tuned. You're at the right spot to get all the breaking information a couple months later. Yeah.
MASLW home finale. MASLW home finale March 1st against the Iowa Demon Hawks, which we talked about. Also, for those involved, it's Kill the Keg Night at Detroit City Fieldhouse. Adam,
so we'll be extra sloppy for that game.
You want to do any more plugging for that, since that's in your breadbasket of promotions?
Yeah, it's gonna be March 1st at the soccer game at the
come drink some beer.
Yeah, come drink some beer. There's gonna be merch. There's gonna be a silent auction. yeah, it should be a good time,
And we're gonna kill a keg.
Gonna kill a keg, maybe two. But yeah, it's becoming it's become an event that's been a little bit more difficult to put on just because of how much city there is now. Because before you could schedule it and you didn't have to worry about, it falling on a game night or a game day or anything like that. But now with the indoor season happening, it's a little bit more difficult to get those things scheduled out. So, but yeah, everyone come down March 1st during the MASLW league game against the Iowa Demon Hawks, and it'll be a good time.
And then March 2nd, annual general meeting, kit reveal, 3 to 7.
Yeah.
In Allen's,
I RSVP'd the other day. Does anybody want to be my +1 here?
I already RSVP'd, even though there's a 25% chance I'm not going to be there.
Wow.
I don't.
But kits, so.
Yeah. We're supposed to be better than ever, so we'll see.
Remember what happened? Remember when we heard that last year?
Right before they unveiled a kit without a badge on it.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm not upset about it anymore.
No, I ended up buying it.
Light now.
I'm not happy, but I bought it.
I think that's it. Thanks for tuning in.
You gotta do the Garrett sign off, Jaime.
Peace and love. I don't know the Garrett sign. Garrett can do the Garrett sign off.
It's not as funny when Garrett does it.
Well, hold on. Am I actually going to be able to do this?
Is it all for one and one for all? Something like that?
However it is, wherever you are, near or far, we go onward. And you're not going to hear any of this because it's going to be cut off before I get to it.
Say hi to the bad guy, pretty gritty and
Peace.
You see a flag fly, chin check, hashtag we came to sweep the leg. With all disrespect, the rules will bruise your head. 2012, the scene pop, we came to clean clocks. Your team is dream drop, we gave some mean knocks, stomping on the comp. Yeah, we chomping on the bit. Many came and went, but they ain't stopping none of it. Community built, community owned, roasting foes coast to coast. Leave your hope postponed. Spirit of Detroit, lemons the lemonade. Yemen and Bangladesh make a stronger.